Hello, Joshua Collin here. Thought I'd do an update. Just a couple things. First off, yes, you do see two owns. I'll get over that in just a quick sec. But first off, I know it's been a little over a month, almost 2 months at that. I've just been busy. As you saw and heard in my last video, my laptop is unable. It can, but it struggles to make YouTube videos. So I'm gonna probably be monthly, hopefully, or every 2 months, just to keep you guys updated and all that. First off, Harvest Show was last weekend. It went all right. We broke a record just south of 2,600 people, which is pretty good. Second off, I was unable to make videos because I was all by myself for my display. It's all right. I didn't run the Jensens, but I run the other three steam engines. That's what I could do. I only ran them twice a day. Again, just trying to limit my exhaustion levels, if you know what I mean, for that event. First off, this is the sort of impulse purchase wheel horse. I brought it down here to Makerspace to work on it. So this is going to be part of the horse trading with my friend who wanted a wheel horse. He wanted my wheel horse, but I didn't want to give that up, so I paid him money for the steam engine I bought for him. So he's gonna get this. I pulled the deck off. That's what this is. I have the mule drive and the PTO clutch. He doesn't want that. He just wants a bare shaft, but I'm gonna give him at least the pulley size so you can kind of match it. The second item he's getting is a 3 to 5 horse LB engine. I have no need due to how big that engine is. 240 pounds, takes like 3 people to move. I could move it with this, but I have no need for that big one. I have my horse and a half to 2.5 horse, so he's getting the 3 to 5 horse LB. He's getting this wheel horse. He's going to sort of build the brackets and get everything where it needs to be on the generator cart. And he's going to get my horse and a half to 2.5 horsepower LB engine running, a couple other things. So back to the Onans, which is primarily what the video is going to be about. First off, this 1981 Onan is going to be for parts. The paint is it's old paint and it's starting to look pretty nasty, plus rust and all that. So I've already taken some parts off this one. That's why I put a plastic bag over the carburetor to prevent stuff from getting in there. I actually put it on the other one. So this is going to be for parts. When we're done with it, I'll probably end up just getting rid of it. Because again, I don't need 2 of these. So on to this RV generator. So first off, the fuel pump on it is full bar. If you remember way back when, I had electric fuel pump on my Craftsman. It's still there, but not connected electrically and fuel wise. So I'm going to take that pump, put it in place of this one, have a prime switch and all that, so I don't have to crank it to start it and all that. And I can kill the fuel pump to basically let the generator run out of fuel for storage. So there's that. So I've been tinkering with this a little bit. First off, I found out the fuel pump is full barred. I ended up destroying a set of test leads for that. Just the black test leads for that. Oh well, they're just cheap test leads, whatever. Second off is this one had actually both power cables, positive and negative, so it made a heck of a lot easier to basically, I picked up a Group 31 size battery, Group 31-6T. 1,000 cold carrying amps at 0, 185 reserve capacity. This is a fleet and heavy duty battery. I also picked up the battery hold down along with the cart. This is a Gorilla cart. Let's see. It's a GRO-1201-2 is the model of the cart. So it's perfect, same size as that one. This one's rated 1,200 pounds. That one's like 6. That thing will basically bounce all over the place. It's just going to be a temporary cart for the horse and after 2.5 horse LP because, again, once this generator's built, it's going to be a heck of a lot better. So, first off, this thing is a 1985 generator. It has 310 hours on it. I picked this up within the last month. I think 2 or 3 weekends before the show. My bracket's broken. At least I got another parts generator. So this thing, 310 hours, has an amp meter. I'll probably change this out to something more respectable. I don't need one that goes technically up to 40. I'll probably, because the generator set's only rated to 33. So I'll probably get a different one that doesn't go up to 80, more like 40. I'm not quite sure. I'll figure that out once down the road. It'll work for now. So like I said, this is in much better shape. So yesterday, I ended up using starter fluid, or I actually drilled out the battery cable so they would work. Mine's thinking, be patient, please. So I used starter fluid. The thing ran amazingly once it's cleared out and it was able to run. It ran beautifully. Both cylinders are running just fine. After a while, or after I checked, make sure it was making power. It is. And I also checked if the battery was charging. It is. It was drawing some power, but I think it has settled down, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Time will tell. The 2 relays in here could have been sticking or just everything charging up, stuff like that. So like I said, the thing ran beautifully, even on both cylinders. Of course, what do you expect for 310 hours? Made power, was unable to get an accurate voltage reading due to mechanical fuel injection, as someone on Smokestack pointed out, due to I was just doing starter fluid, but it ran fine. So this is sort of going to be the layout of it. Pardon those pipes; those are just here, so they're with it. The fuel selector is going to be right here. About right here, maybe. I'm not quite sure. So that will be, I'll be able to switch from the onboard tank, which is a let's just call it 3.25 gallon tank. It could run maybe 4 hours at full load. Thing burns 0.88 gallons per hour at full load, and it's like 0.28 at idle, or technically no load or idle, whatever you call it. This thing is an 1800 RPM generator set, so technically it's not idling. So there's that. So I'm not quite sure where the Fortune box is going to go. Probably maybe here or somewhere, maybe on this side. Probably on this side. So pardon I have this tied on here just so it's not gonna leave. So this thing is gonna be a stack. It's gonna be here. This will probably have to be trimmed, and all that. It will have a flapper or one of these. If I want to run it inside my storage unit, I can just stick it like that and have it blow out the probably that can go right here. I originally was gonna have a fuel tank on this side, but they pointed out get away from the hot exhaust just so it's out of the way. So these are the outlets for it. So this one, it's not how I wanted it, but it's gonna have to be how it is till I can spend another chunk of money. So that's the 30 amp RV style plug, weather resistant. Yes, I am going full blown weather resistant on this because I want this set to be able to run out in the snow and the rain, because it might be another generator for the winter hair rides. So in here, I originally wanted the 30 amp in here with the 20 amp GFIC and then the 15 amp with USB ports on it. So there's that. I have all the hardware and all that in here just so it's not lost. I wanted to get rid of the big bag of parts that I got for this just so it's more compact and all that. So in here, I have the bolts for the battery, charging post, and then another grommet for here. So this thing only technically has a amp and a half to 2.5 amp charging system. So for the time being, until again I can get an automatic one, is I ended up picking this up mid Steam show. It was on Facebook Marketplace. This thing is a 10 amp manual charger. You got to be careful when you use it. So all I've done to it, new outlet because it was missing its ground, and I put 3/8 eyelet ring terminals on it. I folded the wires back to increase technically the gauge so it fit in the 10 gauge terminals. Not quite sure where this 2 amp charger is, but this is another one that I got from my grandpa. Or that one I bought, that one I got from my grandpa. This one's a 2 amp, but it is a sort of automatic charger. So yeah, I'm using some 10 gauge 4 conductor for it. One hot's going to be for the 30 amp plug, the other one's going to be for the 20 amp. And I'll have to worry about the wiring when it comes to that, because that's something I will take care of just due to, I didn't know my friend could do it, just I want to deal with it. So yeah, oh well, 14 minutes. I do have a couple more things to talk about, but I'll have to be up in my storage unit for that. So I'll see you then. I'll be right back. I'm back. So I have moved the wheel horse that was in my previous clip. That's still on my trailer. I'm going to drop that off at the showgrounds just so it's out of here. So a couple things have also transpired. So when I went down to pick up the other Onan, I picked up this. This is a Honda GC 160. Runs okay, needs a little work, but oh well. Another thing is I picked up that compressor. I don't know if you can see it. It's just like that one, but slightly newer. Went for dirt cheap on a state auction. Or auction. This one was given to me. This one sounds better than that one, so I'm not sure what I'll do with that one. Probably parts. So let's see. Yeah, there's one or other thing I'll have to show you, but it's not here. These things like to need to settle down and all that. So, this is the evaporator coil for refrigeration. I don't know what temperature, but it's gonna go bye-bye. There's a odor coming off it, and I don't need it. I thought I was gonna use it to condense steam, but the more I think about it, I have no need for it. So when I picked that up, I also picked this up. This is a twin cylinder Copeland compressor, semi-automatic, I think. I'm gonna see if I can't convert it into an air compressor for just shits and giggles, or it might go to Copeland for scrap. Another thing is, I don't know how well you're gonna see, but this is a motor that my friend Bill gave me. It's a 3rd horse. It's very old. And one unique thing about this is it does not engage the output until it's up to speed. There's a clutch inside. So, not quite sure what I'll do with that, but it's cool as heck. And it does work pretty decent. I was out picking free. That was in the free pile. There's a reason why I was in free pile. I was gonna think, oh, I'll turn it. No, the compressor's stuck. Go figure. I might be able to get it. That yellow weed whacker I got for free. That one I got from a coworker. Same thing with this electric one I got for free. That's the box. I'm gonna cut it up and replace the cardboard in the back of my car. This cart down here will probably end up getting sold just due to, with the way I'm doing things, I don't think I need that cart anymore. I thought, oh, I'll put the Wisconsin, put a water pump rig on it. That plan has changed, as you'll see in the last clip probably. That water pump rig is now fully deactivated. I'm not going to build it. I ended up sending the pump to scrap because I literally, it's basically, okay, I got to make a new piston for it, new valves and all that, so it's not worth my time. So there's that. Those are the sides for the cart. I'll put them up over there with the other ones for the yellow. I might get rid of the yellow one after a bit, but honestly, I don't know yet. So, yeah. Not much new in here. As you can see, I've sort of made some room, but some of the stuff I pulled back from there, put along the side, just so I have room. Those cart wheels are going bye-bye. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't really have much till the next go. Be right back. I'm back. So, I'm at the storage container. So, the last item off the trio that I bought with the Honda, the other one in generator, is I picked this up. This was sort of unplanned, but I've always been looking for one of these. So this is a Honda HT3813 lawnmower. The guy who was selling it, who used to work on these, he told me a couple stories, or one story that he on about one he was working on. Shifter was out of adjustment and the clutch. One of these plowed into a John Deere tractor, then a pallet rack, then another John Deere tractor, and made a steeple out of the 2 John Deeres. That's how much torque these things have. So he basically took off, and that happened all in a blink of an eye. So this is my last of my mini wish list, whatever you call it. Basically, really want one sort of tractor, and I've seen them between $800 and $1,300. This one's non-running, doesn't have the deck, doesn't have the PTO, isn't running. I got a pretty awesome deal on it. So what makes these unique is it's a 5-speed rear end, shaft drive. And the engine is the Honda K360 K1 inline twin cylinder liquid cooled override cam. That bare shaft is where the clutch, PTO clutch, would normally go, but this one's missing. I don't care. It's just going to be eventually this is going to replace the Craftsman. So it does come with a nice big hitch. So basically the plan with this is once it's up and running and all that, it's going to be basically my tractor that will replace the Craftsman. And if the charging system on this goes, I'll just put a car alternator on it, due to these you can't really get parts for. Most of the tractors that I do are like that. This one has a mouse nest and timing cover. Got to pull the engine to deal with that. No big deal. Just got to get around to it. But this is sort of back burner, but at least I have one now. So yeah, like I said, this is an inline twin cylinder liquid cooled engine. I have the other rubber mat over in my storage unit. Pressure lubricated, so this is exactly sort of the same, one of my dream tractors as well. So yeah, I have the lights. Hello, Joshua Callan here. Thought I would do a final update on my Wisconsin water pump rig build. I know I haven't made one in a long time. There are various reasons. Main reason is because the pump is still disassembled after like 5 years. I haven't even touched it. It needs all new valves, gaskets, and all that. Yes, I could possibly fix it, but here's the thing. The Wisconsin engine quit running. I think it ingested something into the carburetor, so I got to deal with that. That's been sitting for 3 years, I think, and I'm not quite sure what I'll eventually do with that. Partially because I can't really do much because it's a short shaft out on the output, and the rope recoil has been literally cemented in place because of what it was on. I don't think that engine will be going away. I don't know yet, but if I do, it'll probably be some weird thing. But anyways, back to the water. So I've sort of decided that the pump's going to go to scrap because I haven't touched it in I don't know 4 or 5 years. It's been back in there sitting on this cart for that long. And that cart is going to be needed for something else. So, yeah, the pump's going to end up a scrap. I know it's a very old AY McDonald water pump. I have no energy, and so I have no energy, no basically funds and all that to basically fix it. Yeah, I could possibly do it, but do I really want to? No. Because I was just looking at this, the plunger is in pretty sorry shape. That would need to be remade, new bits, bobs, and all that. So yeah, it's gonna go to scrap. And I have that red one down there that should work. Is smaller. It already has a motor on it. Should work. Plus I have that other one back behind her. That one was a lawn ornament for I don't know how long. Yeah, I know it's sad to see this project go, but I literally have too many other irons in the fire to literally deal with this pump. So yeah, it's gonna go to scrap, free up a little space. That way I can basically make that into basically a giant blower with a LB engine and a wheel horse leaf vac attachment. So yeah, figured I'll just make a quick update on what's going on. I'll add this to the project. It's a sad ending, but it's been sitting for too long, and at this point it's worth scrap metal. Yeah, I could possibly turn that into something else, but what am I going to use it for? Paint can shaker? Whatever. So yeah, I'm back. Thought I'd do a closeout on this video. So stuff has been happening behind the scenes. The videos you saw have been taken a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, my computer is not the best when it comes to making videos anymore, so it takes me a while to run through the video editor program I use. It is what it is. So stuff has transpired. I figured I'd just give it sort of a final update because I can. So my Onan project, Onan generator, mobile generator rig. I have been posting on Smokestack forum on it. I'll post a link in the description. The thread, so if you want, you can take a look at it. First, I'm just writing it down so I remember. Not the best memory. So a couple things. First off, the last 2 weekends I have been working pretty heavy on it. Last weekend was more... What the heck did I do last weekend? Well, last weekend I ended up going through a couple things. I double checked that it ran on starter fluid. It did. Ran beautifully. Checked it had power. Checked the stop switch. It worked. So that's very nice. This weekend, on the other hand, is I'll put two pictures right here. Due to the control box is loose, so that caused two issues. One issue caused another. So first off, the standoffs that are spot welded into the side of the stator, they came off with the control box, and there's a bolt down by the fuel pump, which I had to replace due to it being FUBAR. It was FUBAR. I pulled the electric one off my Craftsman since I'm no longer using that. That one's now on Onan. Works beautifully. Mounted right in the same exact location. Just had to bend the fuel line a little bit. Well, the bolt next to the fuel pump that holds the lower part on was starting to crack pretty heavy. It was almost all the way through. So I had to replace the lower plate of the control box, which housed the start-stop switch, the two fuse holders, a resistor, probably for the charging, not quite sure. Actually, yeah, probably for the charging. And then lower part held two 5-pin relays, just standard automotive style relays. So that part, good thing I have a parts machine, is I didn't get any really pictures of it. Probably not, honestly. I'll have to go back through my pictures and I'll post them here. So what ended up happening, I took the lower part of the control box off the other generator. I finished stripping basically everything I don't need off that parts generator, and it's now in my storage unit. The parts, not the generator. The generator's still going to go with my friend just in case if he needs a couple more parts here and there, or if he asks for a part, I'll want it. So, I replaced that, and while I was in there, I also replaced the two 5-pin relays. I was already in there, and $10 a pop. Not bad. I just figured I might as well replace them. So, last night, today's Sunday, last night, Saturday, the 6th of September, if this doesn't go out this week, I'll try. I ended up getting everything back together late. Tried to get it started, didn't start. I says, enough, I'll walk away. And then today, I got back, and first thing, I was thinking, I'll check the fuses. They're the wiggly style, whatever. So one was blown apparently. I didn't know that. It looked a little weird. It says, oh, no. I ended up buying 2 new fuses that fixed the issue. Ran just beautifully. Also, I had to play around with the fuse holders because I broke one accidentally, so I pulled one out of the other generator. So now it has a two complete set of fuse holders. Because how I'm gonna run the fuel pump is I'm gonna use the remote fuse as the priming circuit for the fuel pump, so I can basically turn off the fuel pump and literally let the thing run out of gas and it'll be stored. Well, anyways, so back today so I checked it, started, ran off starter fluid. Fine. Let's do the gasoline test. So I'll put a clip in about right here. It's only 8 seconds long, but this is on gasoline, on the carburetor, under 15-hour outload with no muffler. It will get a muffler, so there's that. It went very well. When I pulled the load off and I unplugged the fuel pump, run the gas system out, it did hunt a little bit under no load. Couple things. The thing could be misadjustment, and the governor could be slightly misadjusted, but I'll worry about that once it's fully built. My friend, who we're doing a big trade, he's getting the Wheel Horse C81 that I bought for just because. And then the 3 to 5 horse LB, the big one that I got at the auction, he's doing a nice big list. So he's going to be refreshing the rear end in my B80, a couple other things on my B80. He's going to swap out the magneto on my 1.5 to 2.5 horse LB that I picked up with the other Onan, the 1981 versus this 85. So he's going to be doing a couple of things to the LB, and he's going to be mounting practically everything. I'll do the final wiring, get the priming circuit wired in. So there's that. Yeah. So a lot has happened, and you saw in the previous clip I got when I picked up the 85 Onan like 2-3 weeks before the Harvest Show, that yes, there was another one on Facebook Marketplace ran, but the guy was basically being stubborn. He won't budge, and he says engine start. Does it start and run? He says yes, but he said to also read the description. And I'm just trying to work on, do I really need that? No. So that Honda is going to be exchanged for my Craftsman once that Honda's up and running. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I think a lot of my anxiety, especially with the generator running, making power, has subsided. Just got to deal with all other things, and hopefully it's ready before the harvest show, or not the harvest show, the hay rides. And one sad thing is my light tower will not be available because of that huge auction. I was unable to fix my light tower. It is what it is. I'm actually going to get rid of the 3 axles and a set of brackets that also came from that auction to another club member for the harvest show, so that's kind of nice. So I was thinking, what the heck am I going to do with those 3 axles? And well, we got talking the day after the harvest show on Monday when I was pulling stuff out and getting things situated for winter. And he was looking for some, and I actually happen to have some. So that'll be nice. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. I'm not sure when it will be. Hopefully in a month or two. Bye.